What's up and welcome back to Rumor Has It Official. Let's get straight into talking about 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days. This is part 2 of season 3, episode 10, and the title of this episode is Treat Me Right. Starting off with Benjamin and Akinyi. So Benjamin and Akinyi go to Kenya's version of a market. They have to buy groceries for her family, which would actually be a month's salary in Kenya. Benjamin has to pay the bride price soon, and he's very nervous her father won't accept what he offers. Akinyi still hasn't told him that after he pays the bride price, she will be his wife. Not fiance, but wife. Benjamin just thought that they will be engaged, but she drops this bomb on him. So in Kenya, she would legally be his wife. Benjamin says that he only has 24 hours to decide whether he wants Akinyi to be his wife or not. He adds his two options would be not to show up or get married. He says he doesn't want to rush into things and has reservations, being that his son has never met her. Let's move on to Darcey and Tom. So Darcey and Tom are back in the UK and they are heading to his hometown to meet his family. Well, I should say his sister. Let's not forget that they've both barely spoken to each other since being in Albania. Once they get into the car, she starts crying, saying that she felt sad for the way that she left her sister. And during their confessional, Darcey says that she feels bad for her actions and starts crying, saying that she doesn't want to lose Tom. Tom tells her she won't lose him. Now, Tom is taking Darcey to an Airbnb while they're in his hometown and tells her that she'll be meeting his sister, who is very protective of him. He makes sure to let Darcey know that if his sister really likes her, she'll let her know. And if not, she'll be sure to let her know that as well. He tells the camera crew he's not taking Darcey home with him because he's nervous for her to meet his sister, and he doesn't want his sister's first impressions to be a negative one as what he witnessed in Albania. Darcey feels nervous because she doesn't want to be judged like she was with Jesse's parents. She's hoping Tom's sister will embrace her and that she'll get back on track with Tom. Let's move on to Timothy and Jeniffer. So Timothy is taking Jeniffer shopping to do damage control. While she shops, he babysits her daughter in the store. I think this was only to butter her up so that he can get her to talk to his ex-fiance Veronica. Tim convinces Jeniffer to video chat with Veronica, and Jeniffer says that she needs to know if Tom and Veronica still have feelings or what exactly is going on between them. During this conversation, Veronica says that her and Tim are close and talk all the time. Veronica wants to know about their physical connection. This whole conversation basically was pointless. None of that was her business, and I didn't like some of the things that Jeniffer was saying while the daughter was sitting right there. It was just too much. I just felt like it was really pointless for this to happen. They're on the rocks right now. He doesn't even know if this relationship is gonna last or if it's gonna even work out. So what was the point of introducing Jeniffer to Veronica at this point? Let's move on to Angela and Michael. So Angela is feeling uneasy about their future because she can't have a baby on her own and get an egg from her daughter. In the next scene, Angela and Michael go to meet up with his friends. She's mad at them because they called her grandma, among other things that she's made up in her mind. Angela is very aggressive with these young men and obviously thinks by over talking them and yelling that she can control them like she does Michael. But I just felt like she was very disrespectful, which is not a shock because this is how she treats Michael. This man has basically abandoned his friends, cut off his friends, and has no life, all because he is so desperate to come to America. It's sad and it's pathetic. The conversation goes nowhere. with Michael's friends and Angela, and they end up getting up to leave because she throws a drink on them. And Michael says that he feels embarrassed and is sure his relationship with his friends will never be the same. And I wouldn't want to be friends with them either. Let's move on to Benjamin and Akinyi. So since learning new information about the bride price, he calls his friend Desiree to talk about it. He gets very emotional, and his friend tells him that that's just too fast. And if this was tradition, then she should have told him prior to arriving. She adds that Akinyi has never been a mother or met his child. Benjamin just keeps saying, "But I love her." He knows what he should do, what the right thing to do is, but we shall see what he decides. Let's move on to Rebecca and Zied. So Rebecca and Zied are arguing back and forth in this scene. Rebecca says when they woke up, she was showing him pictures of her grandkids, and an old picture of Rebecca with her ex pops up. Zied says that he is a very jealous and controlling man, and sometimes he can react badly. Y'all, the way that he had his hands locked around her neck, she had to literally jack her neck from him to take the grasp, because I can imagine he was probably applying pressure with his fingers, and he was trying to do it discreetly in a way so that the camera crew wouldn't know what he was doing, but we all knew he was putting hands on her, because he put his hands around her neck and pulled her head into his shoulder, and then she brought her neck back up, and then he still had a firm grip on her neck, and then she jacked her neck away from him. So yes, he's definitely being very aggressive and abusive. You just imagine if she does tell him that she's still married, what he would do. Rebecca uses the excuse that it's painful to go back, adding that it was 5 years of her life and she doesn't want to look through them to delete them. Now, I guess everyone is different, because as soon as things were over with my ex, everything got deleted, okay? And thrown away. If there was a gift you gave, I don't want to have any reminders of a relationship that is no more. Let's move on to Darcey and Tom. So Darcey says that Tom is finally opening up to her. Now, Tom seems totally different from how he was acting around Stacy and Florian. So later that day, they go to meet with Tom's sister. His sister says that Darcey is who she expected her brother to be with. Fake eyelashes, big boobs, long fake hair, and makeup that's in your face. She wants to see if Darcey is genuine and real. Darcey goes into this whole spiel about she wrote a dream list. And when Tom's sister says, "Is he your dream man?" Darcey responds, "He's always been on my vision board." Tom's sister is making sure to point out the fact that she's overprotective and opinionated, adding that she inserts her opinion on the hundreds of women Tom's been with. When his sister says, "Are they exclusive?" Darcey looks at Tom so he can answer that question. Tom says that Darcey is his partner. His sister then says, "Have you fallen for her yet?" Tom hesitates for a minute and then says, "Yes, I have." Hearing him say that has Darcey smiling from ear to ear. Now, that would be sweet and all if it was actually true. The part during this dinner that had me weak was when Darcey told Tom, "I'm not going to hurt you, trust me." And his sister responds, "You'll never hurt my brother. I won't accept it or allow it, so be warned." This makes Darcey so uncomfortable that she gets up to go to the restroom. And I don't know why, but his sister just reminds me she could have a role on Alice in Wonderland. The over-the-top blush and just her whole look, Alice in Wonderland. Now, moving on, when Darcey gets up to go to the restroom, his sister says she seems like a nice girl, but I just wonder whether one woman will be enough. Tom says that he thinks that he's getting old enough to settle down and have a better life. He adds that he admires his sister's relationship and has always been jealous of it. So, he's a lot like Darcey with the whole jealousy of a sibling. So when Darcey gets back, they decide to hang out again soon and go dancing. Now, Tom tells the camera crew, along with Darcey standing there, that his sister just wants him to find someone that will love him for him, adding that she knows that there's certain things that he needs in a woman. He says there's been occasions where he's introduced women to his sister knowing she wouldn't approve, which makes it a little easier for him to then say, look, the family situation's not working and that's important to me, so goodbye. The whole time that he's saying this and telling off on himself, you could tell that Darcey's head is spinning. You could tell that she's wondering if she's any different, if it's different this time. She tells Tom she loves him and he looks at her. So for that whole minute, he then turned his face back toward the camera crew. So when she says, I love you, he's looking at her for a long time and then he turns his head back to the camera. He doesn't even say anything. I mean, at least say I'm not there yet, or say I care for you, because there's a difference. You can care for a person. That doesn't mean you're in a space yet to say that I love you word. But he just left that woman hanging high and dry. So I need to hear your thoughts on 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days. This is part 2 of season 3, episode 10. Again, the title of this episode is Treat Me Right. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this episode. If you haven't watched part 1, go ahead and check that out. Give this video a big thumbs up and share it with a friend who also loves watching 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days. Subscribe and hit that bell so you'll be notified on the next time that I make an upload. And I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.